of the. I'm just sending out the link to our community. I haven't figured out yet how to get the YouTube link before we start. I just sent it out. So before, the most important question, I first was connected with Jay Azarad because I'm involved in getting the captains to keep stats. And I see this beautiful man in the profile picture at a Yankee game, just looking amazing. I don't remember what happened. He said, first I need to get his profile picture for the captains. We had like a flyer with all the captains' pictures. He's like, "Do you really need me on it?" I said, "A captain that looks like you, we need. This is great for the league's PR." Then whatever, I don't talk to him too much. I talk to him about stats a little bit, enjoying the profile picture every time. He's married, or that's his girlfriend with him?
No, he's married.
He's married. So then I asked him to be on the podcast. He says, "I'm very busy. Sean has a little more flexibility. Can you reach out to him?" So then I reach out to Sean. He's got these beautiful golden locks. And I reach out to and I say, "Jay, you're no longer my favorite Azarad. Sean is my favorite Azarad." And then my question for you is, who is considered the better looking Azarad brother?
Well, we actually have a lot of brothers between us. So it's hard to tell. And we all look pretty similar. Like me and my other brother who's on the team, his name is Avi. Everyone say we look like twins. And like every day, at least we get asked like, "Are you guys twins?" So like, it's really hard to tell. There are 4 of us on that team.
And how many boys are there total?
In the family, we got 8 boys in the family.
How many girls?
3 girls.
Not a lot of families these days with 11 kids.
Yeah.
Are your parents Catholic?
No, they're Jewish. Oh, really? Yeah, don't see it a lot these days. But yeah, so like people are more focused on like how many siblings we have rather than who's the better looking one, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Where did you guys grow up?
In Hewlett. We basically been here for the last like 15 years.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
And where were you before Hewlett?
Texas. We lived there
Where?
for a few years, yeah.
Where in
El
Texas?
Paso.
El Paso? What were you doing there?
Uh, I don't know. We just kind of moved down there, and it was supposed to be temporary, but it kind of stayed for a couple years, and then we have a bunch of family back in New York, so it was time to move back, and we've been here since.
Been there since. Okay, cool. And so Hewlett, so you're in the 5 towns. And before we started, I heard you had an interesting path towards the HSL. How did you wind up in our league?
So we were playing softball at Bay Park on a random weeknight, and the game finished up, and we look over to the other field, and there's a group of guys playing, and it looked intense, like very, very fast pitching, high intensity, fast moving game. So like we went and watched it for a little bit, and we're like, wow, this is a very good game to be a part of and very fun to watch. So my brothers and I went up to one of the teams and we started talking to them. Also, we saw that they were Jewish, and we're like, all right, we're this is definitely something we can do. And so we started talking to them, and they said, yeah, we'll give you all the information. Go talk to the umpire. So we kind of delayed the game by like 15, 20 minutes just talking to the umpire. And he was giving a lot of information. He gave a couple phone numbers for us to reach out to. And we're like, okay, cool. We'll definitely look into it for the spring season. So winter passes, and then now here we are. My brother's been in contact with, I guess, with you and Avi. That was in fall, I think, like November-ish.
Well, he said it was night league, so it must have been.
Yeah,
I don't know. What position do you play, Sean?
I play shortstop and outfield, just kind of where I'm needed that day, but I mainly play shortstop.
Avi, have you seen Sean flash his leather at shortstop yet?
Yeah, we we played your team, and I actually showed up late to that game. And exactly when I showed up, your team hit a home run. So if I was in the field, we would have had one more outfielder, and it would have been
And you lost 3-2.
3-2. 12-5 maybe at high school. Yeah, yeah. I mean, our pitcher, Yaron Goodstein, the first game against the Robins, it was his first time pitching in a few years, so he was kind of like walking a lot of guys. But as the fourth week came, I don't think he walked one guy. He's been really locked down since, and the games have been a lot closer. And our bats also started picking up a bit, like because we weren't used to fast pitch, we were used to slow pitch yellow ball. So to come to this and hit like 60, 70 miles an hour, we were, yeah,
Yeah, I know about it from the Lakewood guys that we interviewed on the podcast. They used the gold ball. So how are you feeling about it so far? You guys are 0-4, but you seem like you're having good vibes. I asked Jay how the season's going. He's like, "Well, we're 0-4, but we're getting better and better every week." What are your
yeah,
What are your
definitely,
thoughts?
I agree with him. After the first game, when we got beat by the Robins, and I think we watched your other video, like ranking the teams. I'm not sure if you put them fourth or fifth, the Robins, but
You guys were like, "Holy cow!"
yeah, and actually, we've played against Ariel Cohen before these games, like the pickup West Hempstead games. We've played against him, and so we're like, all right, we have a chance, and then we get beat like 11-1 or something, and we're like, all right, maybe this isn't the league for us. So I think Jay reached out to you and he said like, maybe we should drop down after the first game. You said, yeah,
That's a pretty funny story, though. They saw the Robins ranked fourth or fifth. The thing with the do you know the whole background of the Robins?
no,
They
no,
were basically Ariel Cohen has a whole culture of Robins. They play 3-4 times a week So they're also talented, but more than that, they're a finely tuned machine. You talk about showing up at a game late and a home run being given up. Ariel's guys are out there 20 minutes before the game. What?
It's never gonna happen with his team. Never gonna happen.
Yeah, so they were in our B leagues, what we call the Legacy League, for years, and there was a very big push Avi and I worked very hard on to help them feel confident enough to go to the top league, which they are a top team because so much of what wins in the top tier, it's not really like powerful offenses. It's crisp defense. And like you said, Yaron, getting the ball over the plate, any walk, like walks are a walk is a mistake, an error is a mistake. In the A League, there'll be bad games, but I mean, you're talking about, Avi, what would you say, 3-4 mistakes a game at most you can get away with, including one?
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder, Sean, you guys must have been very confident to aim for the A League at your first shot.
Yeah, I mean, we did really, really well in Yellow Ball. We went to the championship last year and we lost in it, but like we were really good. So we're like, all right, we're pretty good players. Our defense was really, really good. Like very solid fielding, but it's so much different in this league, the fielding. So we do have a few errors a game, and I think that's also what's costing us. Um,
Why do you think you're having more errors here?
I have no idea. I think just because like it's faster play, um, the ball comes at you much quicker, and it's like when you're in the outfield, it comes to you much differently than it would during like slow pitch. I don't know why. It's hard to read the ball, and then also it's a lot more intense, and the players are a lot more there to win. So like when you field a ground ball, for example, they're sprinting down the line every single time. So you have like 1 second to make that play, which causes like I guess more pressure to not make an error, and then it leads to more errors. So I'm not sure if I've personally made any errors, maybe like one or two, but my team so far has, especially in the first game, we made like 10 errors because it just wasn't what we're used to. But we're definitely getting better, locking down the defense, and our bats are starting to wake up. But yeah,
Sounds
that's
good. And you should know that 5 out of the 6 teams are making the playoffs. So you guys are still.
right.
So in other words, the first 3 teams have a bye, and then teams 4 and 5 have a wild card. Is one way to look at it.
Right.
Have you played? Oh, so you haven't played you haven't played, and they have 2 games scheduled against the Blue Wahoos.
I think we have one scheduled against them.
That's wait. One sketch. Why is there only? How does the schedule? Uh, okay, I see what's going on here. Okay. It really should have been the Blue Wahoos playing Town Appliance twice.
Yeah.
Got it. So Shlomo Sean, first of all, why do you have 2 names?
Well, my legal name is Shlomo. Sean, I just kind of made up because when I'm in public or around like when I went to school, I just went by Sean because it was easy for everyone, just like a classic name that nobody can mess up. But I go by Shlomo now. Really, Sean is just right. Yeah, so it's like same thing with me. Just kind of like that.
And when did you start playing baseball or softball or whatever?
So official baseball, I started in like seventh grade, but I've been playing my whole life. Like I play with my brothers a wiffle ball in the backyard since I was yeah. I still play to this day with my younger brothers. Really, that's really cool.
Avi, we really need like we really need like a media kit for new players because like Shlomo didn't know about the community or like the status or some people don't. Yeah, but yeah, but captains are busy with 1,000 things, you know. Yeah. How was the how did they do it in that ABA league you were in?
It's also a roster league, and in order to play in the game, you need to be on the roster.
So did you
Playoff.
ever have a situation where half your team was missing?
No, because somehow we always get subs. But actually, in our last game against the Robins, we had like four subs play for us
Hmm.
because like all my brothers except me were busy doing their own thing. So that's three of our main players gone, and I think like one or two more were busy. So I was like up at 2 a.m. texting a bunch of people like, "Hey, we need a sub. Can you come?" And we got it. We got our team together. Um, but never in ABA. We didn't have it. It's because also for us usually like 9:45 is very early to play. So and that's kind of like my whole team. So everyone complains every Sunday morning about waking up and playing. But I think it's worth it. You get out and play some softball, and then you still have your whole Sunday ahead of you. Yeah, yeah, that I think like we missed three people didn't come because of the 8:15. Exactly. Right. Exactly.
Mir, it's a shame you'll get married like Jay, and your wife's gonna want you home
Yeah.
to hang out on Sunday.
Yeah. Exactly. Just like
What
Jay's
does
wife.
ABA stand for?
Sorry.
ABA softball. What does the ABA stand for?
maybe like American Baseball Association, something like that.
Is it like part of a larger organization?
I think so.
Uh-huh.
They have
Uh-huh.
like a bunch of different leagues. There's
Uh-huh.
so many.
Uh-huh. All right. Who do you root for in professional MLB?
The Yankees, of course. I saw you have a Met glass, but I didn't want to say it. Yeah, no,
Mets
but
had a nice win yesterday.
I was at the game actually, and it was a pretty boring game until the ninth inning. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think you should be going with your wife, Avi, based on the amount of time you've dedicated to HSL over the last few months. I think you might. He's a simp. Sean, he's a simp. He's a simp. Yeah, fair enough. How old are you again, Sean?
I'm 22.
Oh, you're young. Okay. So
Yeah,
you have memories of 2009? You were a little kid.
not really. No,
Okay.
unfortunately, I don't remember much.
So I'm 38. I grew up very much in the shadow of my oldest brother, who was a Yankee fan. I grew up in the 90s, and I'm all on my WhatsApp status. I'm always trolling the Yankees, and I find that your generation of Yankee fans are so sensitive. And whereas when I was growing up, there was no way you could make fun of a Yankee fan. Anything you tried, like what are you gonna make fun of? Like Mariano Rivera blowing the 2001 World Series. They won four in a row. They won 4 out of 5 years before that. But this generation, they're really sensitive, and like people get really prickly. It's kind of cute. So sometimes yeah, it's like a whole generation for certain Yankee fans. You were working the game though, right? Why did they kick him out?
That's
Yeah.
really awesome, actually.
How many people like you were at that game? Like how many of these auxiliary staff did they bring in? That's really interesting. Wow. You wouldn't think that the Yankees would be doing that kind of thing. You wouldn't expect it. Uh-huh. Got it, got it. Uh-huh. Um, Sean, so any critiques of the HSL in your HSL infancy here?
um, Honestly, no. So far, everything seems to be exactly what we thought. Um, no, not really. Just for us personally, the it's a little bit early, but other than that, like obviously we're not gonna make a whole big change or even complain about it. because I'm sure you've been doing it for years.
Well, sort of. We actually only took over the league about a year ago. This is our second spring season. So we've done a spring, a summer, and a fall. But we've both been playing in it for a long time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Honestly, it's really cool. No, no. So it's kind of hard to tell, honestly, but I think we're starting to move in the direction of we're getting a lot better. We're putting up runs. Our Yaron's doing amazing on the mound. So I think we're definitely moving towards like we're so close to a win. Our last few games we only lost by 1 or 2 runs. So like we're definitely up there with getting better and competing against these teams. So I think that we're looking to get a few more wins, hopefully, again, sneak our way into playoffs. And honestly, looking at the other teams like Kaufman, I don't think we're going to win the championship, but we're going to go as far as we can, win as much as we can, play our best, and that's kind of where we're at. And then in the fall league,
Love the energy. Sorry, love it. Amazing. Go on. Sorry.
yeah, basically, like a lot of the guys are happy to play and they don't want to move down. They want to stay because we're so close to competing with these really, really good teams. And again, we're picking it up. We're not just giving up and putting up the white flag. We show up every game and we take every at bat very seriously and we try our best in the field. We're getting better at fielding. And so I think we're right there. And even though some of the guys complain, they still show up. They give it their all. So I think we're right there. I think we can get our first win coming up soon.
Love it.
I think it's against Kaufman. I'm not sure though. It's going to be a tough game, but if we could put up a few runs at least, even if we lose. He's a really, really good pitcher. They're a really good defense team. Yeah, yeah. We went to the same bungalow colony a couple years ago.
Which Bongo County is that?
Clearview.
Clearview. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like, I've played with him on his team, and I've played against him. Like when, so I think when we played him, me, my brothers, and a couple other guys, I think we actually beat him. So, but when we played with him, obviously he's one of the best white ball pitchers I've ever seen. So, no, I never heard that.
Avi, I like to see that you started calling him that in the on your status also.
Exactly. And even though if we're losing like 5-0, 6-0, we're still having fun in the dugout every inning. We're still joking around, doing what we do. So it's not only about the game with us. Also, it's also like an excuse for all of us. We're all good friends, so it's an excuse for all of us to get together, have a good time, even if we're not playing our best or anything. No, there's no bad feelings towards anyone if like you make an error or you strike out. There's nothing like that. So it's not just about softball. It's also about getting together, having fun, doing what we love to do. And if we end this season like really bad, don't have a win, then we'll talk about maybe moving down to the B League and then but that right now we're not in that spot. We've only
You know what we call it, Sean? We call it big bris energy. You guys got big bris energy. Shout out to Benjamin Roberts, who won the basketball championship, who coined the term. Big burst energy.
It's a great term.
Have you played the Bombers yet?
What team is that? Obvious team. Yeah, we've played them, and we were right in it. There were the first inning we had a few errors, like you said. They scored like 7 runs, but after that, it was.
Were you guys the home team?
Yeah, we were.
Very tough taking that. I actually learned this from Goldenberg on the Robins. He said taking that inning on a cold Sunday, taking the field, taking the
we were yeah. Player. We were only playing with 9, so we only had 3 in the outfield. It was.
I'd almost rather be the away team because it gives you a few minutes to warm up and get into it. So the captain of that team, his name is Steve Pollan. He's about 55. He's also fantastic. But anyway, Steve's a big believer that you need, like you're saying, you need a lot of reps at the higher level. So some of these guys, they're playing 2-3 seasons every year. They're just playing a lot of softball at a high intensity, and it takes a while to catch up to that. All right, any final thoughts, Avi? I think we got a wrap.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Shlomo, is there a special woman in Shlomo Ezerad's life?
Not at the moment, no. Unfortunately.
All right, I'll keep my eyes out for a shidduch for you. I'm sure I won't have a hard time finding takers.
Yeah, please do. Definitely looking.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you guys so much. It was a great time.
Okay, I hit stop on the thing.